Like me.
Bella Napoli, bella!
Bella Napoli, sì! Napoli, Naples, the third largest city in Italy. About 1 million people in the city itself, 3 million if you count the metropolitan area. Arrived on the Central station, which is back towards the back behind me in Garibaldi Square. You could walk towards the historic center from Garibaldi Square, and it's a bustling city with lots of life, that's for sure. And finally getting some nice weather too. This whole trip up till now, you probably noticed that I've had a lot of really crappy weather everywhere I've gone. So finally the weather is really nice for this trip. This is my one full day here in Napoli. So we're gonna go walk around the historic center and then head down towards the castles and the sea. And then we will go and walk up to a high point where you can see a lot of the city below and enjoy the views before going for dinner at a really nice place that my apartment host had recommended to me and who was kind enough to make the reservation. Navigating the streets here can be quite chaotic, so I mean, if you're a city guy like me,
Bella Napoli, bella!
Bella Napoli, sì! Obviously me walking around with the camera here attracts a little more attention too, but positive attention so far. Hello everyone from the really cool apartment that I'm renting here in Napoli, Italia, Naples, Italy. Place I found on Airbnb, which is really close to the train station, which is very convenient for me also because I spent the day traveling up here by train from the far south of Calabria in southern Italy. What I'll show you guys tonight, since I just checked in here, while everything is still fresh, is the room. And first, I'll show you the apartment common area here. Now this is an apartment where there's 3 rooms. I'm renting one of the rooms, but I do have the place to myself for tonight. And then here, there's a kitchen area, which I'll show you like that here. Really cool looking. And then it's daylight enough that you can see outside. And there's not too much of a view here, but you can see, yes, old Italian looking buildings out here. The front of the building is in a really busy area that is actually, it's not the most picturesque, but let's just close the lights here. And here is where my room is. And I think the translation to English for this room is the blue room, because look at how it looks. It is a really cool looking room, nice colors, nice bed, which is, I mean, I haven't tested it out yet, but it feels nice and comfortable. I mean, even a little more furniture there, and then a private bathroom as well, which of course also makes the fact that even though you don't get the whole apartment to yourself, the private bathroom definitely is a plus for sure. I mean, you really are getting your own place. Okay, the kitchen is a common area, you know, big deal. So in Naples, of course, because it's a bigger city, a little more expensive than where I was before down in Calabria. So of course, it's a little more economical to stay in a place like this. I'll leave the link below for any of you who may be traveling to Napoli, who may be interested in a cool place to stay. And this building here in the stairway has this right here. It is a building that is otherwise a pretty old building complex right here in the center. And in the stairway here, and there's the really old elevator there, which you do have to pay 10 cents for during the day. That's not really the reason why I'm taking the stairs, doing so just more for exercise. But I mean, look, even that there, okay, the paint's chipped away and you see the bricks underneath, but I don't know, that looks like that could have almost been like that on purpose, just to make the wall look more interesting, I guess. But here, in the middle of this complex here, of this building, you have this open area here. I'm not sure what you would call this, an atrium, I guess, but it's open, which today, with the nice weather, it's really nice to have. The first sight that I've gone inside to see here the Chiostro di Santa Chiara. It is a Gothic style church complex and museum that dates back to the 1300s. So it's a really, really cool looking, very picturesque place. It's €6 to get in. You cannot touch anything or sit on anything, but it's really cool and worth it to come in and look around and take photos of the amazing looking complex here. It's really quite something to see. There'll be a lot of other people taking photos here as well. Luckily they allow it. And why would they not allow it? Because, I mean, it looks so cool here. Why would you not want to let people take photos of it? If you were here in the 2nd century BC and you were well off, this is probably where you would be hanging out. Even on a Tuesday afternoon, there's lots of life going on in the little side streets of the historic center. One thing that might stand out to you if you're not used to places that have this is there's a lot of graffiti in, like here for example. Some streets tend to have a lot of graffiti, and I mean it gives Naples a bit of a rough look, and it does have a bit of a reputation, but I think it's a little bit exaggerated though. It's not really, at least nowadays in the year 2022 that I'm here and making this video, I wouldn't say it's more dangerous than many other big cities in Europe, and certainly not as dangerous as pretty much any big city in the United States. Now we are going to the Castel Nuovo, new castle, down by the sea. There are a number of castles here in Napoli, which is kind of a testament to how many different powers have taken over this place over its long history. Getting in here was oddly complicated because you had to do an online reservation, but you can like reserve for right away, but you have to do it on your phone, and then you can go in if there's an open reservation right away, and then you pay by your phone. I mean, which is fine with me because I usually pay electronically anyway, but it just seemed oddly complicated when it's just like, all right, I'm here, I have €6 to pay you to come and visit this great place, so let me pay and go in. But nonetheless, we're in, and now we're gonna go upstairs and check this place out. Cool place full of history. Let's head down now to Santa Lucia, where there's another castle that's cool to see here, the Castel Nuovo. Down here in Santa Lucia and walking up to the Castel dell'Ovo. Different than the Castel Nuovo. Castel dell'Ovo is on a little peninsula here that kind of sticks out of the Santa Lucia area down here by the sea. The entrance to the Castel dell'Ovo is there behind me, which is kind of around the side here, around the back. And just like in the Castel Nuovo, they have the you have to reserve online thing. Even though it's free here, you have to pay the Castel Nuovo. Here it's free, but you have to do the online reservation thing. And when I went online to do that on my phone here at the entrance, there was nothing left for today, which is too bad because I'm not going to be here beyond today. So, oh well. No Castel dell'Ovo for me. I don't know if they're doing that in order to limit how many people are in there at the same time. I would hope that that's really the reason, because that's the only reason that makes sense to me. I'm gonna head up to another part of the city I wanted to see on my way up to a higher point where there's a nice view of the whole city. Coming from Santa Lucia through the Piazza again, and then up the other way, a different way than where I came from, through here. That's how you can get to the Spanish Quarter. We can walk through there, and then on the other side of that is the Monte Santo. You'll know when you've started going into Quarteri Spagnoli because the buildings are really tight, the streets are really narrow. Seems alright, it's just another neighborhood here in Napoli, but just happens to be a little less touristy and a little more old looking. You could say maybe a little less refined. So we're gonna walk through here, not looking for any specific thing, just kind of walking through here since it's on the way to the mountain where you can have a view of the city below. The Quarteri Spagnoli, it does have a bit of a rundown look, and it does have a bit of a bad reputation as well. When you're walking through there, it does kind of feel a little ghetto, to be honest, but at the same time, I mean, I just walked through there during the day, and I mean, there wasn't, I wouldn't say it's like super dangerous. I've been in way sketchier places, especially in cities in the US. Would I wander around there alone at night? Probably not, but I think otherwise you'll be fine if you go there. And there's a lot of cool street art to see there, and a lot of cool sort of urban imagery to look at there. And it definitely is a place that has some life to it. But now we are going up here, and let's see how far up we can go. Just as I finished coming up the stairs, it started raining again, and raining a little more than just a drizzle, but at least it's not raining too hard to obscure the view of the city too much, which I came up here to see. So as you see, there is all of Napoli below. Oh, and Vesuvius up there. So there's the castle up there. I'm not going to attempt to go up there now. because I don't want to cut too close to dinner time, because I got to walk down back to close to the train station area for where I have dinner reservations very soon, and because I'm pretty hungry and pretty walked out from walking the whole day. So I think I'll head back down and go and eat some really good food. This restaurant was talked up very much by my host, so hopefully it will not disappoint. I don't think it will. So that was a very nice dinner, followed by a very nice dessert at a very nice restaurant at the end of, I'd say, was a pretty nice day. Napoli is definitely a city to visit. I think that I made the most of my one full day here. And now, after walking around the entire day, I did the entire day on foot. My legs are a little bit tired now, so thankfully tomorrow I will be moving on to a new place and will be sitting more tomorrow. But I am looking forward to sharing with you guys this new place. It's a place that I actually have been to before in Italy, but haven't been to with you guys because I went there before I started Global Niko. So subscribe to Global Niko if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the like button on this video, please, and be sure to take care and travel better.